Where's that music coming
But there
from?
isn't a... It's from a TV in the next room over. I can't do anything about it.
So
It literally sounds like funeral music.
It's not
my
funeral music.
my
It's
second DLC guest is going to be Banjo Kazooie.
Hi.
I think
Hi.
because Microsoft and Nintendo have been they've been getting very along recently.
Yes,
they've been making
but
more hints
that's with
about-
things like Minecraft.
Yeah, they've been making more hints about Steve being in Smash more than Banjo, because today's kids know more about Steve than Banjo.
Everybody would expect Steve. I disqualify him. And I disqualify Banjo-Kazooie on the fact that there are probably a lot of legal problems with trying to
It's
get
gonna be
them
Master
in
Chief,
Smash.
guys.
Even if Nintendo and Microsoft were fully on board with the idea, there are problems that could arise from it that would prevent Banjo and Kazooie from being included. And here's the other thing. I don't think they want the nuts and bolts redesign of the characters, which is most likely what they'd go with.
And I, holy,
And the
well,
reason why I say that is because
I can't
Banjo and
believe you did this
Kazooie...
to me, goddammit, how could you do this to me?
The only reason I say that is because Banjo and Kazooie appeared as a playable racer in the Xbox 360 version of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and in that game, they used the nuts and bolts redesign.
Okay, so that disqualifies Banjo Kazooie.
I'm not saying it's impossible. It's probably a little more likely than anything that Square Enix owns, especially since Sora is partially owned by Disney, which would complicate matters even further.
Yeah, even if
Because we all know how stingy they are with copyrights.
Yeah, like even if they somehow actually did manage to get in, like we got Joker, we got Piranha Plant, we got the plant, anything can happen. But
well, keep this in mind. The company that made the Persona games is now partially owned by Sega. It wouldn't have been impossible for Joker to be in from the get-go.
Yeah, but Persona 5 was a PlayStation exclusive game.
So, Cloud appeared in a PlayStation exclusive game, and yet he got into Smash.
True. And so
I mean, keep in mind, for the longest time, Final Fantasy VII was exclusively on the PlayStation.
True.
Yeah.
And there was not a single Final Fantasy game that Cloud appeared in that was on a Nintendo console up until this point, given how Final Fantasy VII is being ported over to the Switch.
Speaking of which, I want to get that. I'm gonna get it.
The only time that Cloud had appeared on a Nintendo platform was in Kingdom Hearts. That's it.
Yeah. One Microsoft.
And besides, Square Enix is a third-party company. It would not have been impossible at all for Cloud to have been included in Smash in any capacity.
You do got a good point, though.
The problem with Banjo and Kazooie is the fact they are owned by a first-party company, Microsoft. Second-party companies like Game Freak and third-party companies like Sega don't have that much of a problem when it comes to licensing, when it comes to getting characters into Smash Brothers. But Microsoft does not fall under either of those categories. Even if they were on board with the project, there would probably be a lot of legal hurdles that they would have to go through in order to even get Banjo and Kazooie into Smash. It's very unlikely that that will ever happen, just like with Sora. But that's only because Square Enix is super stingy with copyrights, and because a part of the copyright is owned by Disney.
Okay. So, for characters that are, like, actually, like, we have... I'm thinking Big Boss could be in Smash. I love Metal Gear. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I love Big Boss. So, Big Boss does have an opportunity.
I don't know.
I don't think Konami really wants to go with that. I think they're happy with Snake just being included.
Yeah, and...
Yeah.
That, and keep in mind, they've got 3 characters in Smash now.
Yeah, Simon,
They've got Snake, Simon, and Richter Belmont.
Yeah.
2 Castlevania reps, one Metal Gear Solid rep.
Yeah.
Sega's only got Sonic the Hedgehog and partially Joker.
And Bayonetta. Oh no.
Bayonetta is not a Sega character. Bayonetta is owned by Platinum Games, which was never owned by Sega in any capacity. You're getting confused with Sega being the publisher.
Oh yeah.
Sega only published the first Bayonetta game, and they were going to publish the sequel. But after Sega undropped support for Platinum Games in terms of funding, Nintendo stepped in to save the project, which is why Bayonetta 2 ended up as an